We're not just fixing an issue, we're actually teaching people to live differently in their bodies. And it's a privilege to work with every client. Everyone has a different story. The body holds the story. What's amazing is now we have these new techniques or modalities that allow us to unlock the body and change these old stories or patterns.
Physical therapy, the way it was being prescribed and executed, was not working to get me healthy. The running wasn't even in the realm of possibilities. I basically had given up running. And everybody I talked to said, just back it off. You're already, 57 years old. You've been there. You don't have to do it anymore. And that was them on the left shoulder. That was the devil. And on the right shoulder was the angel, was saying to me, you really still have the burn in your stomach that you want to do it.
As a result of two back surgeries and a car accident, and I couldn't even walk, really. And being a very active person, it was making me crazy. I was really leery of ever going back to physical therapy, but the person in the doctor's office recommended PostureWorks. And then a couple months later, I reluctantly agreed to go to physical therapy, which has changed my whole way of being.
Even as a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, and former pro athlete who's very aware of the mind-body connection, even with that, I would not have been able to see what the source of my issue was without outside help.
I realized traditionally in physical therapy, patients aren't being heard, there's not enough time for patients to be heard, so often their symptoms are being treated, but no one's really identifying the source of where the problem is.
And these guys, they dug in and they talked and they evaluated. And I found that to be educational as well as very comforting, that it wasn't just, okay, we read your prescription, this is what you need to do.
From the beginning, I felt that they were listening to me, so that was a relief.
Very one-on-one, appropriate therapy. We come up with the best solution that way. When we take our time and we really watch how someone moves, we really listen to everything that they have to say, it's then that you discover the root of people's problems.
My actual injury happened when I was playing soccer down by the beach. Now, after a meniscus surgery on my left knee and going to PostureWorks to help me rehabilitate, I don't think I would have known that I got that injury because of compensations I was doing in other parts of my body, because my glutes weren't firing, my hips weren't firing in the right way, and that caused weakness elsewhere. The machine really helps you isolate what muscle you should be using or have to use in order to do the actual movement. That's the great thing, you can't cheat. I think people share this. It can be difficult in one way in that you can't cheat, but it's really empowering in that you start to feel that muscle have to turn on and you say, I got it.
So once we feel that we've got to the source of someone's problems, then we have different tools and techniques at our disposal to really get in and retrain their movement strategy, to really change the way their brain is communicating with their body. We look a lot at fascial lines, myofascial chains, and again, Redcord is a tool we often use to assess that. What that means basically is sometimes someone coming in with a shoulder issue, it's actually a hip because they're connected via a fascial line. The shoulder is injured, meaning that tissue has suffered, but the reason that shoulder got injured is because of a hip issue. They're not using a hip the way they should, so they've been dumping all this extra force into their shoulder and it's broken down there.
So I am much more aware of how I stand and walk and sit, and I know that my posture is much better. And they do a great job of explaining everything they do. I like to ask questions, maybe other people don't, but every question I ask does not go unanswered.
If the client feels empowered, it'll contribute to their healing. We educate our clients of what we're doing and why we're doing it. And it's that aha moment that they have when they actually understand why they're doing something.
All of a sudden, it was like the things that I was doing at Posture Works with Redcord, you know, I was using core muscles that were waking up dormant muscles in and around my hip area, and I would have never known that. And every other physical therapist I went to really didn't talk to me about that. They just said, okay, we just got to work on your core, and we'll stretch you, and then we'll give you some heat bags, and then you'll go home and we'll send you a bill.
You're one-on-one with your therapist. You're not just pawned off to an assistant that's just following a regimen. You know, you're with someone that can assess you the whole time. I felt cared for, and I felt like it was this personalized experience, which is incredibly unique in our society.
Yes, the hand is slightly higher. Can you lift it up?
We're continually reassessing every time a client comes in and continuing to personalize and customize the treatment with every session.
And being in a place that encourages that is priceless. It's what makes a clinic grow, it's what makes patients get better, and it's what keeps us as therapists very passionate in our field and wanting to help people.
And so after a couple months at Posture Works, I was able to do it, and I was really happy how I went through a whole day of cooking and it didn't hurt at all. And I mean, I could really see a difference.
Gotten to a point with their help and their assistance that, you know, I can definitely do Olympic distances, which I've been doing, and my goal this summer is I'm going to look to do another half Ironman up in Seattle.
People who overcome their challenges and who we can help exceed their goals, that's to me what it's all about.